Hi, welcome back to Book Talks Podcast. I am Marissa. I'm one of the co-hosts of Book Talks Podcast. I am known as our thriller expert over here. An expert's a little bit of a loose term, but I do love thrillers. I'm an avid thriller reader. So I am going to give you, since it's officially spooky season, my top thriller recommendations for spooky season. And if you only have time to read one, the absolute number one you have to read this spooky season. Okay, we are starting off with a really, really good one. The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. This, oh my gosh, first of all, can we just admire the sprayed edges just for a second? Look at those. If you haven't gotten this copy, I don't know what you're doing. It's literally incredible. The Ghostwriter completely took me by storm. I actually won this in a Goodreads giveaway. I have like an advanced reading copy over on my shelf that I didn't touch until a week before it even was published because I didn't know anything about the Ghostwriter. I didn't know anything about Julie Clark. I haven't read anything by her previously, but I won it in a Goodreads giveaway. I regret not reading it sooner because this may be the best book I've read for sure this year, but like, I don't want to say all time because I'm sure I've read some other good ones as well, but seriously, 5 stars. It was just one of the best reads this year, one of my top thriller picks. I'm looking down right now because I have my notes already written out for this one. Just like, if you want to check me out on Goodreads, I wrote a full review for it. But just to quickly kind of summarize my thoughts, this is one that you are not going to be able to put down. So schedule out a Saturday to read it. Literally from start to finish, I could not put this down. It was that good. I feel like as someone who is an aspiring author, this is the type of book I dream of writing. Like, it's written that well. It is so good. This one does not have a major gotcha moment, like a major plot twist, jaw drop. You kind of know where it's going, but it's the way the author gets you there that is just it's so good. Like I can't even explain it. It's I wrote down multiple point of views, timelines, interviews, stories, and then she also reveals stuff through these like homemade films that a 14-year-old girl made, and just like the way it all interconnects, the way it's fleshed out, the way she brings it all together. I'm telling you, 5-star plot, 5-star writing. I don't want to give anything away because I think a really good thriller, the best way to go into it is to go in blind and to not really know what it's about. So, I mean, you can read the blurb on this, obviously, you can read the summary, but I highly recommend it. Obviously, the ghostwriter would indicate it's about someone ghostwriting. So I'll just leave you with a little blurb on that note that says, my father either killed them and wants to admit it, or he wants me to figure out who did it. So anyway, as you can probably imagine, she's the ghostwriter for her father, and he's telling his story. But like I said, the way the author gets there, really incredible. I can't recommend this one enough. And if you don't have this copy specifically, I would get this copy because it just looks gorgeous on your bookshelf. Next up, if you follow me on any of our social media platforms, if you follow me on TikTok, Instagram, booktube, booktok, or my Goodreads, you know who my favorite author is without a doubt. Wait, let me just, if you can look back here for a minute, all of these, and sorry, getting my hands mixed up, but all of these, and all of these, those are all by the same author, Karin freaking Slaughter. She is known in our thriller community as the Queen of Crime, and she is known that way for a reason. She's fantastic. She has written 25 books to date, and honestly, you can pick any of them up. However, there is one series that has 15 books in it. So maybe don't start with that one. Maybe start with a standalone, or the one I'm personally going to recommend is We Are All Guilty Here. This is her newest book, and it is the first book in her newest series, the Northfall series. So you don't need any background. You don't need to know any of the characters. You can literally go in blind. And you'll be able to follow it, and it's very good. It's a very, very good book. It's about Officer Emmy Clifton. She's the main character. She's a flawed character, so that's the thing. And again, as an aspiring author, I know that your main character is supposed to have flaws. I think Karin Slaughter does this really well, making her character still likable, but with clear flaws that they have to work through. Very good book. It has multiple twists. It has multiple crimes. It's really, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it because it's very good. My one complaint about this book is I actually think this book could be like 3 books. I think Karin Slaughter could have taken this and dragged it out over 3 books and I would have eaten that up. Like, absolutely. It has that much in it. It is so good. So yeah. So read this if you want a Karin Slaughter book. She's a fantastic writer. However, if you aren't interested in starting a series and if you want something a little more disturbing and also highly popular, you can pick up Karin Slaughter's Pretty Girls. This was originally published in 2015, but for some reason it has recently become very popular on BookTok. I don't know like why it's taken off all of a sudden. I mean, it's a good book. I know why. It's weird because it came out in 2015, but they actually came out with this copy with the sprayed edges in honor of its like popularity. However, I want to warn you, this is by Karin Slaughter's own admission, and as someone who has read every single Karin Slaughter book, my belief, her most disturbing work. So if you are not someone who can read graphic assaults, oh, that's my receipt. Whoops. Sorry, back to the seriousness. If you're someone who like can't read graphic assaults of women, graphic torture scenes, don't pick this up. Karin Slaughter doesn't write those to glorify them or sensationalize them. She writes them because they really happen and she wants to bring awareness to what really happens to women in real life. But this is very disturbing. It had me looking over my shoulder both as I read it in the weeks to come. I actually still, I don't want to say I have PTSD because that's like a serious thing, but when I do certain things in my life, again, don't want to give any spoilers away, I think about a specific scene in this book and I become nervous. So it will stick with you, but it is a very good book. So if you want something a little more disturbing, go with this. If you want something a little less disturbing, still disturbing, go with this. Okay, moving away from like the disturbing books, I want to recommend First Lie Wins by Ashley Elson. This book came out of nowhere for me. I just did this because I got it for $1 at a thrift store. It's in really good condition and it was available on Libby. So I was like, hey, let me give it a try. And it was really good. It is a domestic thriller. It's a game of cat and mouse, but it is not your typical domestic thriller where it's like husband, wife, did he kill her? Did she kill him? Should they kill each other? Should they not kill each other? It's not one of those. I don't want to give anything away, honestly, because this really is one where I say go into it blind. Like, don't read the dust jacket. Don't read the blurbs. Just go into it completely blind and let the author take you where the author takes you, because it really is like best experience that way in my opinion. The like one thing I'll say about it, like enticement as far as what it's about. It is about a girl named Evie Porter. She has an amazing boyfriend named Ryan. But Evie Porter doesn't really exist. And Ryan may be her next Mark. Oh, dun, dun, dun. But seriously, it's really good. I don't want to give spoilers. I would say, though, this one's a little more tame. So, again, if you're looking to just start off with thrillers, this is a good one. And also, the next one I'm going to recommend is also a good one. This next one I don't actually own, so I'll just put a picture of it on the screen. This one I tried out. Again, it was available on Libby, and so I just did it on audiobook. I regret not having a copy because it was a really, really good book. Now, this is one I recommend if you are not familiar with the thriller genre and you don't want anything scary, you don't want anything disturbing, I would say pick up Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. It's fun. It is fun, and it's funny. Like, I was laughing out loud as I read it. I mean, I can't, there's nothing I can really say. Like, I can't remember anything specifically, although I do remember the opening scene is very funny. And you're kind of like, am I reading a romance or am I reading a thriller? Because it gives off very rom-com comedic as far as the like voice of the story. But no, it's very good. It's very funny. Sometimes it's a little ridiculous. For example, the main character is Lucy, and everyone thinks she killed her best friend. Like, everyone in the town thinks it. Of course, Lucy killed her best friend. And to be honest, Lucy doesn't know if she killed her best friend. Like, she doesn't remember. So she teams up with this guy named Ben, who has a podcast. And Ben may or may not be trying to prove that Lucy killed her best friend. But she teams up with him because, like, she wants to know too, who killed my best friend? My best friend deserves justice. But it's just really ridiculous and funny that she teams up with someone who might be trying to accuse her of murder. And anyway, their relationship's really great. I really enjoyed it. And because Ben has a podcast, which shout out, we have a podcast. Did you know that? If you're here, you probably did. But anyway, Ben has a podcast. So I will say listening to this on audio was flawless because they like do the voices and then they do little like podcast intros with music. So you know, like when you're entering a podcast scene versus when you're not in a podcast scene. So it was a really good audiobook. And I recommend it for anyone who doesn't want gory, who doesn't want scary, who just wants a lighthearted, fun read with really good, witty characters. And it's still a thriller because you're still trying to figure out who killed Lucy's best friend. Was it Lucy? Was it not? Read it and find out. Next on my list, I decided I was just going to do 5 books. Originally I was going to do 10, but I was like, that would make the video really long. And I want to give you just 5 really good recommendations. I don't know if you can see behind me. Again, the mirror, am I reversed? But up here is like this whole shelf. This whole shelf is where I keep all my thrillers, literally 2 rows dedicated to Karin Slaughter. That's how good she is. But like, so I have lots of ones I can recommend to you. But again, I chose one that I don't physically own. I have seen it going around on Facebook recently as well. Facebook, did that give away my age? Oh no. Yes, I'm on a couple thriller Facebook groups and a lot of people have been talking about this one. I read this a few months ago and I was floored. This, without a doubt, to me, has the best jaw-dropping twist I've ever read. And I read a lot of thrillers. So I don't know if I just didn't see it coming or if I'm just stupid, but it was a phenomenal twist. Absolutely phenomenal. You also will not be bored if you read this book because it has literally like 15 different plots going on all at once. And they're not necessarily interconnected. They are kind of like she could have written separate books. So you will not be bored. Hopefully, like me, you will be completely floored by this twist. Did I say the name of it? If not, the book is She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. Sorry, I feel like I'm really bad with names. But this novel to me, I actually didn't give this 5 stars. I actually on Goodreads gave it 3.5, rounded up to 4. I got 4 on Goodreads. But because to me, this book had the potential to be 5 stars with like everything going on, the plot twist. It really gives that edge of your seat feeling. But it wasn't tied up in like a perfect bow at the end. Like it seemed like there were maybe some loose ends, some open items that could have been resolved. So as someone who's an avid thriller reader who wants that perfect, like wrapped up, give me the epilogue, give me everything, this didn't get there. But for the jaw-dropping twist that it has, I cannot recommend it enough. Like, shocked me to my core. My jaw, I kid you not, my jaw was on the floor. I had to stop and go into my mom. Yes, I live with my parents. I had to go into my mom and be like, oh my gosh, what? And she was like, come on, I'm sure it wasn't that good. I was like, no. Like I had no words to process. I still have no words to process. It really was that good. So this one is She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. Again, not necessarily 5-star read, but you let me know on that twist if you saw it coming. Because your girl did not. Okay, and just as like a bonus one, because again, I don't know what my audience here is. Like if you want more horror, if you want more like graphic disturbing, if you want domestic, if you want suburban, if you want like lighthearted and fun, this one's kind of, once again, I would say like in the middle. This one's really good if, again, you're new to thrillers because I think it wraps up nicely. I think it has a good story. I think it's not too heavy and disturbing, but it still has a very edge of your seat feeling. And that would be The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Again, I don't own this one. And I don't know why, because I own all of Holly Jackson's other books, literally all of them. all of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder books, 5 Survive. What's her newest one? Not Quite Dead Yet. Like, I own all of them. So I'm not sure how I missed getting this one, but just like as bonus content, I know I said I wasn't going to do like 10. I didn't want to do too many, but I did want to give just one more. If you're new to thrillers, I really recommend this one. Everything I recommended today, other than Karin Slaughter's We're All Guilty Here, is a standalone, so you don't need any background. And We're All Guilty Here is also the first in the series, so again, you don't need any background. That's just my personal recommendation to kick off spooky season. I'm hoping to get some spooky videos out. I actually got my hair done to be or spooky. I think it's spooky. Anyway, so again, these are my recommendations. Let me know though if you want to hear more like horror or disturbing, or personally, one of my favorites, domestic suburban thrillers. I do love a good domestic thriller, but these are my recommendations for now. If you have any questions about Karin Slaughter, please ask me, because I know every single one of her books, like by heart. She is my idol. And I'm going to be reading more of Julie Clark as well. She has at least 2 other books out. And after reading The Ghostwriter, I was like, those are getting moved up on my TBR because they were really good. So if you want any other thriller recommendations, let me know. But that is all I have for right now. I just wanted to give you guys some really, really good ones and to let you know, if you can only read one of those, if you can only read one, the one I recommend the most is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. Might be one of the best thrillers I have ever read, and it is the type of book I dream of writing. So there you go. There you have it. I don't know how to sign off because I'm awkward. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching. And it would mean so much to me if you gave this video a like, hit the subscribe, commented below, and just like followed along and shared your personal like thoughts on any of the books I recommended, or if you think there should be another one recommended, please let people know, because we don't gatekeep. We don't gatekeep good books. Oh my gosh, that would have been so clippable if I hadn't messed up the words. Let's try again. We don't gatekeep. We don't gatekeep good books. Okay. I gotta go because now I'm just embarrassing myself. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.